Okay, here we go. 3.1, parallel lines and planes. Well, first of all, what do you already know about parallel lines? And okay, they're straight. Good. Lines are always straight. They never intersect. Okay, we're getting to all that stuff. Good. So first thing I want to do, talk about parallel lines are two things. First, they are coplanar. What does that mean, everybody? They are in the same plane, right? Two lines that are in the same plane. They are coplanar, and they never intersect. You're absolutely correct there. Okay, now take your inspirational straight edge and draw yourself two parallel lines. Okay, and the way that you can do it is you just put the straight edge down and draw a line on each side, right? And then they're automatically parallel. Okay, that's why I gave you those little straight edges. If you put the straight edge down the page and then just draw a line on either side of the straight edge, you automatically have parallel lines, right? So I want them to look pretty good, not like mine. Mine look terrible. Okay. Okay, yeah, they're not intersecting, right? Okay. Yeah, not mine, right?
Collinear is when they're on the same line, right?
Correct. Correct. Okay. All right, so check this out. I have line P and I have line M here. And to say that they are parallel, we're going to use a symbol for it. We're going to say this. We're going to say P is parallel to M. So parallel is just two straight lines up and down. Looks like a tall number 11. So P is parallel to M. This is going to be the symbol for parallel. No big deal, right? Now here's something else we have, right? If two lines are parallel, can three lines be parallel? Yeah, they sure can, right? I can do it like this. Okay, I can call this line L. Now, if three lines are parallel, can 50 lines be parallel? They sure can. So it doesn't matter how many lines we have or we want. We could say as many as we want. We're going to use the same symbol every single time. So I could say this. I could say P is now parallel to L, right? I could say that as well. So the symbol for parallel is going to be two parallel lines that look like a long number 11. I'm putting this on here for a reason. I want to show you something, okay? So take a look at parallel lines in box number 1. It says that parallel lines are coplanar and they never intersect. And then I'm going to talk about skew lines, and skew lines also have the same thing in common with parallel lines in the fact that they never intersect. However, Juliana, what do you think? No, not necessarily. There's something else about it. Yes. Ashley, what do you have? They are non-coplanar. Very good. They are not coplanar. What does that mean? They are not in the same plane, right? Absolutely. So, think about this. Is it possible? Let's consider the ground. Let's consider that a plane. I could have parallel lines in the plane of the ground that don't intersect, right? Is cool with that? Does that make sense? Okay. Now, think about two different planes, okay? I could have the ground as a plane and the ceiling as a plane, right? I could have one line in the ceiling, one line in the ground. Will those lines ever intersect? No, because the plane is flat, goes on forever. Plane's flat, goes on forever on both of them, right? So the difference between skew and parallel lines is that parallel lines are coplanar and they never intersect. Skew lines are different planes and never intersect. You see the difference there? Yeah? Everybody? You guys with me on that? Okay. All right, so that's what skew lines are. Does that make sense? All right, so like if I was going to draw, let's say, for example, this is one plane. This is like the ceiling, okay? Yeah, see if you can draw this. All right, practice drawing that. And then I'll have this other plane down here. And this is the floor. And I'm trying to draw these planes. So this is the ceiling and this is the floor. So plane C and plane F. All right. So it's possible for me to draw a line like that and draw a line here like that. And these are called skew lines. These are two lines. They never intersect, but they're in different planes. That's different, right, than parallel lines because they would be coplanar. That's the major difference. All right, let's talk about parallel planes. Parallel planes are two planes that are parallel. We just kind of talked about that. Think of the ceiling, think of the floor. Those are two parallel planes. So let's see if you can draw a picture. Practice drawing this picture with me. So here's how you would draw one plane. Okay, and we're going to like shade it a little bit here. All right. And pretend that we are looking down on this plane. Okay, we're looking down on the plane. Okay, I'm gonna choose a different color here just to play it, just to draw it for you. Here would be a parallel plane. Okay, now since it's behind it, I can't actually see it, so I want to draw like a dotted line here and a dotted line there. And this would be my other plane. Yeah, the dotted line indicates that it's behind the other one. You can't see it. So this would be an example of parallel planes. It is hard to draw. That's why we're practicing right now. Okay? So these are two planes that never do what? Very good. Two planes. So far, we're going to talk about the transversal. And I have just two lines in a plane. And are these lines coplanar? Yeah. Do they lie on the same plane? Yes, they do. Does it look like they're going to intersect at some point? Yeah. Okay. So they could intersect. They could be parallel. Doesn't really matter for this case. So I have two lines. All right. Now here we're going to draw the transversal. Take another and take your sprayed edge and go across anywhere across those two lines. All right. Anywhere. So this one, the one now that I'm going to make black, okay, the black line is called my transversal. This one right here is called the transversal. So I'll write in black here for you. This is the transversal. It's this one right there. So how would you describe, what could we say about the transversal? It's a what that does what? Yeah, Jake, what do you think? Yeah, okay, so it is a line that intersects two or more, we could actually have more of these, two or more coplanar lines at different points. DIFF period means different points. Okay, that's our definition. That's our definition of a transversal. The black line is the transversal, and it is just a line that intersects two or more coplanar lines at different points. So my orange lines are the two lines. I could have 50 orange lines, right? And I could have one transversal going across it, right? So it doesn't really necessarily matter. Okay, so I'm going to call this first line here, I'm going to call this line L. And then I'm going to call the second line, I'm going to call that line M. So I have line L and line M, and then I have the transversal. You guys cool with that part? All right, now, something happens when we take a transversal and we cut it across two or more lines. We create 8 angles. There are 8 angles on this page. I wonder if you see the 8 angles that I see. Do you see them? Who sees 8 angles? You guys see them all? Put your hands up. I let the record show that nearly the entire class is putting their hands up right now. Okay, good. So I'm going to start to number my angles. I'm going to do that in purple for you, okay? I'm going to call this right here angle 1. Okay, that's angle 1. You see it? Okay. I'm going to call this right here angle 2. You see it? I'm going to call this right here angle 3. And then that right there, angle 4. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. I wonder, do you see the other 4? You do see the other 4, right? So I'm going to call this angle here, I'm going to call this 5. Okay? I'm going to call this 6. I'm going to call this 7. And I'm going to call this 8. You guys cool with that? All right. So when a transversal is cut across two lines in the plane, we have 8 angles that we're dealing with here. Now, we can talk more about these angles, and I'm going to move up. Actually, I'm going to shrink the page so we can see this and still talk about this over here. Okay? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types of angles that are created from these that we're going to talk about. The first ones that we're going to talk about, and I'm going to do this in pink for you, are going to be the interior angles. Okay, the interior angles. I'm not trying to trick you at all. If you had to take a guess, 4 of those angles of the 8 are interior angles. I'm wondering if you could actually give me one of them. Isa. Angle 2. You are correct. Angle 2 is an interior angle. What makes angle 2 an interior angle? What do you think? Yeah.
It's on the inside of the 2 lines.
And what are the 2 lines called? They have names?
The
L and M, right? It's an angle that's on the inside of L and on the inside of M simultaneously, right? So can you give me the other 3? Just shout them out.
3, 6, 5.
Very good.
That's how many days.
Angle 3, angle 6, and angle 5, right? Okay. Those are the interior angles. 365. 2, 3, 6, 5. Okay, good. So if we have interior angles, ladies and gentlemen, if we have interior angles, we most likely will have what? Oh, you good. We will most likely have exterior angles. Okay, again, not trying to trick you. Give me one of the exterior angles.
1.
Angle 1, you're absolutely right. Can you give me the other one?
7, 8.
Angle 4, angle 7, and angle 8. So we're just talking about the different types of angles that happen when a transversal cuts across 2 or more coplanar lines. Jake. So the next group of angles are called alternate interior angles. So I have alternate and interior. Okay, what does the word alternate mean?
Changing.
Yeah, changing. Okay, what else?
Different.
Different. Okay, I'm with you on that. How does alternate apply to this picture? And then you have the word interior. Okay, so take a look at your interior angles. They were 2, 3, 6, and 5. Now, which ones do you think are alternate? I wonder what you're going to say. Yeah, what do you think?
So the ones that are across from each other?
Across from each other. Like what? Can you give me an example? 3 and 5. Yeah, they're across what? They're across the transversal. So they're alternate the transversal. Does that make sense? And they're inside L and M. So there's a couple of pairs. So angle 3 and angle 5, those are alternate interior angles. Right?
Is 2 and 6 also?
And 2 and 6 are also. Angle 2 and angle 6. Yeah, why not 3 and 6? Because they're on the same side as the transversal. What about 3 and 2? No, what are those? How about that? How about those? 1 and 7. Those are alternate exterior angles. Right? See ya? So alternate interior angles have to be inside lines L and M, and have to be on the opposite side of the transversal, right? Alternate side and inside. Yeah. The next classification are same side interior angles. So which ones are on the same side of the transversal but on the inside of lines L and M? Yeah, Issa, what do you think? 3 and 6. Very good. Angle 3 and angle 6 and angle 2 and angle 5. You're 100%. All right, the last classification for a transversal that cuts 2 lines in a plane are corresponding angles. And here's how I like to think about corresponding angles. I'm going to use a highlighter to demonstrate this, okay? Let's take a look at line L, and let's take a look at where the transversal meets line L, okay? So I'm talking about angles 1, 2, 3, and 4. You guys see that? If I call angle 1, if I call this angle top right, does that make sense? If angle 1 is top right, can you tell me the angle by number that corresponds to top right for line M? 5. Very good. Those are corresponding angles. So top right and top right. Okay? Watch this. What if I go top left? There you go. Top left, top left. Those are corresponding angles. I bet you can predict what I'm going to do next. Bottom left. Bottom left. Corresponding angles, right? And then finally, I have what? Bottom right, bottom right. Oh, it kind of disappeared. My number kind of disappeared there. So think of it as left and right of the transversal, top and bottom of the line. Okay, those are corresponding angles. So let's write all those down. And I think I was using blue, right? So what did we say? We said angle 1 and angle 5. Then we said angle 2 and angle 8. Then we said angle 3 and angle 7. And then finally 4 and 6.